present continuous for actions happening right now. So welcome. In this grammar presentation, we will have a look at the present continuous for actions happening right now. So as always, we will have a look at the form, how to make the present continuous. We'll have a look at the meaning, the usage, why we use the present continuous, and the pronunciation, how to pronounce different parts or different aspects of the present continuous. So I'd say sit back and enjoy, and if you have any questions, just type them in the comments below. So first of all, let's have a look at the form. Are you listening to music? This is the question form. Are you listening? No, I'm not listening to music. This is the negative. I'm not listening. I'm watching TV. This is the positive. Let's have a closer look at this. So I'll have the example here to work. Because you can either contract it, so I'm, your, he's, are, we're, there, or you can use the full form of the verb to be, plus, of course, your gerund or your ing. So I am or I'm working, you are working, he, she, it's or is working, you're or you are working, we, we're or we are working, they're working or they are working. You can use both. Usually speaking, contracted form, and writing depends. You can use both of the forms. So closer look. I am working, so I plus am plus the gerund. He, she, it is the different form of the verb to be, is or apostrophe s, and again that's plus a gerund. And then you, we, and they, the are plus your gerund. The gerund is the verb ing. So of course there's always some exceptions. So the exceptions here are like the same thing like in the simple past. If you have a consonant vowel consonant ending, your consonant doubles. So stop, stopping, travel, traveling, plan, planning. Fix is an exception. There's some exceptions when it ends in an X or in a W. We don't double it in English. And for example, here, develop, the stress is here. It's not on stop on the stress here. So developing is with 1P. So there are some exceptions on the exceptions, as always, to make it more difficult. And picnic, the same thing as in the simple past. The C changes it into CK, picnicking. Then, of course, modal verbs. They don't have in a continuous form. There's no such thing as canning or coulding or musting or shoulding or mighting or maying or oughtoing or ought to or oughting to. Doesn't exist. So no continuous form there. Then let's have a look at the negative to work. So again, it's ing at the end. So working, 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 working. The only thing that changes is your verb to be. So I'm not as in a contraction, or I am not working. You aren't or are not working. He, she, it isn't or is not working. You aren't or are not working. We aren't or are not working. They aren't or are not working. So the negative I is am not or apostrophe am not plus the gerund. He, she isn't or is not plus gerund. And then you, we, they aren't or are not plus gerund. And the gerund, as always, is your verb ing. Question form. As in always in questions, you need to have an inversion. So here you have the verb to be first, then you have your subject. And then again, it's still working, working, working. So it's always the gerund, makes it very easy. The only thing you have to conjugate is the verb to be. So am I working? Are you working? Is he working, or is she working, or it working? Are you working? Are we working? Are they working? This is what you need to conjugate. There's no contractions here. You have to write the full verb to be there. So M is are plus your subject plus your gerund. No, this is your question form. Then the same thing if you want to use a question word. It's the same thing as in present simple or simple past. It's the same principle again as always. So you have your question word first. Here, the question word is where. Where am I working? Or where is she working? Or when are they working? So question word, then the verb to be, then you have your subject, and then again your subject and whatever else you have in your question. But question word, verb to be, subject, gerund. When do we use or how do we use the present continuous? Present continuous is used here in the sense for actions happening right now. So right now I'm watching a movie. This is the example here. Most likely the action started before, the watching of the movie started before. You're watching now, and most likely you will continue watching afterwards. So it's something that happened before, you're doing it right now, and it's most likely still continuing after that. So present continuous is used to talk about an action that is happening right now. I am talking to you right now. You are listening. You're watching this video. Outside, hopefully outside, the birds are singing. The sun is shining. At least here it is. So all things are happening right now. The actions that are happening, action or actions, it could be more than one, that are happening right now. Present continuous is also used with time words. They use time words. At the moment, I'm listening to music. I'm listening to music at the moment. I'm watching a movie right now. Or now I am cooking, or I'm cooking now. Time words, as in present simple or simple past, you can put at the beginning or the ending of your sentence. No problem there. Pronunciation-wise, the most important thing is the contractions there of the verb to be. So I'm, that's how you pronounce it, I'm. He's, the s becomes a z sound. He's, a long e, he's eating. She's, again, long e and a z sound. She's dancing. It's is a s sound, so it's working. You're studying. It's same pronunciation as your book, but different spelling, different meaning, but same pronunciation. You're and you're studying, and we're eating. We're eating. And then they're driving. There again, there is same thing as their book, same pronunciation, but again, different spelling, different meaning, but similar sound. So I'm, he's, she's, it's, your, where, and there. As always, the negative form of the verb to be is pronounced. I'm not driving. He isn't eating. She isn't dancing. It isn't working. You aren't studying. We aren't eating. They aren't driving. So the negative form is contracted and is pronounced. So usually in sentences, the verb to be is not pronounced. In the positive sentences, are you working? Are you working? The most thing that you hear is you working. The R disappears in the background. You still say it. You don't say you working, but are you working kind of disappears. Is he going to school? Is he going to school? He going to school is what you hear most of the time. That's why people have difficulty using the tense, because they don't really hear the auxiliary verb in the background. Am I driving? Am I driving? I driving is what most people hear, and the M disappears in the background. The negative are always pronounced because you need to hear that it's negative. I'm not working. There's a stress. I'm not working. If you don't stress it, you would hear I'm working. I'm not working. What did you say? Working or not working? She isn't studying. Again, isn't a stress there. They aren't playing. Again, stress. So this was the present continuous. If you have any questions or comments, you can write them in the comments below, and I will help you with it as soon as possible. There's, of course, some more practice. Have a look at the link as well, which I will put in the comments below. For more information or from other videos, you can find me on my website. You can also have a look at the different social media that I have for more videos that are there. You can also register on the website, or you can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, and then you have a regular update of the videos. Apart from that, I would say go and do some practice using the present continuous for actions happening right now.